When I first started, I didn't understand that I was small. My shoulder pads were way too big. The pants really didn't fit me. I think I had this mindset that I got from my mom. She was state champion of high hurdles, and she said, we're gonna always compete and be the best that we can be.
Warrick Dunn's mother was Betty Smothers, a police officer in their hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
When I look at Warrick, he has every trait of my mother. Soft-spoken, just loving, just the willingness to always help.
My mom was everything to me, and I've always wanted to do everything I could to please her, make her happy.
She was also a single mom, trying to raise 6 kids, and Warrick was the oldest.
She called me her little man, and I was her little man because I was responsible.
Warrick was in charge of making sure we did homework, making sure that we ate dinner.
Her trust in me, I think, was everything, and I think she was preparing me for moments that if something happens to her, that I can just step in.
Ma'am, they shot or what?
Yeah, they're shot.
Police officers?
Yeah.
Who shot them, ma'am?
I don't know.
I get a call like at 12:30 from a family friend who's a police officer who said, hey, Warrick, I need you to get up. I'm coming to get you. Something happened to your mom. She's been shot. He said, don't wake up the other kids. He was there in a couple minutes. I ran outside, got in a police car, and once we got to the hospital, that's where I saw my mom's body laying on the table, and there was police officers surrounding the table. So, it just hit me. I was shocked. And then, I was just like, oh my God, you know what? I gotta go home. I gotta go back to my brothers and sisters, make sure they're okay.
Warrick was there to embrace us. And then you walk further into the house, you might have had 30 to 45 police officers there. And it became so real. She was gone.
Betty Smothers, while working her second job as a security officer at a local grocery store, had been killed during a robbery attempt. Her death came just 2 days after Warrick's 18th birthday.
Almost 2,000 people at the funeral, and it was just packed of just love and support. And we riding down to the cemetery with a procession of 300 police cars in front of us.
I thought you gotta be strong for your brothers and sisters, Basically, it's like you can't cry. I tried to be hard and let them know that, hey, everything's gonna be all right, I'm gonna take care of you guys. I gotta go and get a job, I gotta, make some money so I can take care of my brothers and sisters.
And we was like, we're gonna be okay. You can't live for us, and you can't stop your life for us, because this is something that we don't know what can come out of this.
My grandmother moved in with us, and I got assurance from family, friends who said, hey, we're gonna be here the whole time as well. We're not going anywhere. So you need to go and live your life. Your mom would wanted you to do what you felt like was best.
Warrick had just completed a standout senior season playing football for Catholic High. College recruits were calling, but not with the pitch he wanted to hear.
Everyone wanted me to play defensive backs. Like, that's not what I want to play. I want to play running back. I was 150-some pounds. That wasn't attractive to a lot of people. I wanted to prove to them that, hey, I can run the ball, I can make people miss. I can play with the best of them.
Bobby Bowden and Florida State made him an offer.
I said, Coach Bowden, I would want to come to Florida State, but if I come, I want to play running back. I don't want to play cornerback. But if it doesn't work out for me, I'll move to defensive back. And Coach Bowden made a deal. And I said, okay, I'll come.
At the time, Florida State's quarterback was Charlie Ward, who entered his senior season as a preseason All-American.
One of my childhood heroes was Doug Williams, being the first African-American quarterback to win the Super Bowl. That was one of the reasons why I chose 17. He actually came to one of our games my junior year, and that's where I got an opportunity to meet him. During that conversation is when Warrick came up.
Doug Williams was from Zachary, Louisiana, not far from Baton Rouge.
He knew Warrick's mom, and he knew his situation, and so he wanted me to, take care of him. And so I asked Coach Bowden if I could, room with Warrick. And, it was a little different being a senior and a true freshman, but our synergy was made for each other.
Well, when I first got to Florida State, I was last on the depth chart. My name was in marker on the board. I didn't have a magnet or anything. It was on marker, so you can just erase it. Early on, being a roommate with Charlie, I was just wanting to sit back and just watch and observe. I really started to understand offense. Charlie and I were having conversations in the dorm. Over the course of the year, I started to contribute a little bit more and a little bit more.
Every single time he got into the game or got the ball in his hands, he was making plays.
Florida State was the #1 team in the country heading into the season finale at 7th-ranked Florida.
It was 3rd and 10. It was a drive that we needed to be able to close out the game. Everyone's running verticals, and the running back, he will be the check down guy.
Play action, runs, looks, comes out of the box, runs to his left, throws it downfield, it is caught by Dunn. He's got the first down to the 40, down to the 50, down to the sideline to the 40, down to the 30. He separates, he's to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown.
The roommates coming together connect on a big play that helped propel us to go play for the national championship.
Charlie Ward would go on to win the Heisman Trophy, and the Seminoles would go on to win their first national championship in school history. For Warrick, just 1 year removed from tragedy, the season was hard to enjoy.
Every break I had, I went home. Every weekend I had off, I went home.
That pattern continued throughout his entire college career. Warrick remained the man of the house in Baton Rouge. And with Charlie Ward gone, he became the man at Florida State. When he left, he was the school's all-time leader in rushing and yards from scrimmage.
I'm hearing all these great things. I saw what he could do, but he is really, really small. So I called Coach Bowden. Could Warrick, at this size, be a legitimate NFL running back? And I'll never forget his answer. He said, I can't tell you about the NFL. All I can tell you is he's the best player we've ever had. It's okay, Coach, that's good enough for me.
Well, I'll probably honor her memory with my life. What she did was brought me to this world and put me in this home right here that I have a lot of memories in and that I cherish. And my abilities come from her body, her genes, and everything I do is because she molded me for 18 years. And I had 18 years and 2 days with her to be the type of man I am today. And I'm very thankful for that.
When I talked to him for the first time, I asked him, why should we take you? After he thought about it, he said, do you like touchdowns? If you do, you should take me. I fell in love with him, just his attitude. I knew his story. So we said, hey, we're not going to let the size deter us. We're going to select this young man. It was a leap of faith, but it was the right call.
Yeah, I was first round pick, but I'm only 5'8", 5'9", 180 pounds. Are they going to believe in me?
Special teams.
We thought maybe a third down back. We could use him in spot duty, but he could make a lot of big plays, maybe in the return game.
That's where to finish it, Warrick.
We had drafted Mike Allstott the year before, and Mike was the big banger and the heavy hitter inside.
Come on.
So we kind of thought, well, Mike will be the inside fullback and Warrick will be the guy to run wide. And I'll never forget the second game we go up to Detroit, and Warrick is pretty hot. So we end up giving him the ball, and he runs over 20 times. And on the plane back, I just kept looking at him and said, why are you looking at me? I just want to make sure you're okay. He said, Coach, I do this all the time. You don't have to worry about me.
It's like, are you sore? You're not sore? That's like, no, I'm not sore at all.
At 5'9" and 175 pounds, Warrick Dunn continued to both shoulder the load and amaze.
Warrick Dunn, another Houdini job. The little guy does it again.
That's unbelievable. That was the most amazing I ever saw in my life.
I watched it, I handed it off, and I'm like, man. And I go, wait a second, he's got a chance.
What his superpower was he never took those massive collisions. Like, he just had an intuitive feel to get underneath and around one-on-one and one-on-two tackles. Like, he had this ability at the very last second, the moment of truth, to take an edge off the tacklers.
Here's the snap, hand off to Dunn. The little guy pops it outside to the 40, 45, spins to the 30, little 25, 20.
Dunn finished as the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
But his thoughts remained with his family back in Baton Rouge.
Stand up straight, Grandma. What you doing?
He told me, he said, Coach, I have to bring my siblings here. My grandmother can't take care of them all. I'm going to do everything you need. Don't worry about that, but I have to do this.
And I moved my youngest three in with me in Tampa. I had to find a school for them to go to. I got to go to PTA meetings. I went to track meetings.
You hear me? Y'all go get them, warm up.
See, that's the problem. We at LSU.
Warm up.
He is basically the dad putting 3 teenage kids through high school and managing the family. One of the most amazing things I've ever experienced in football.
In 1999, the Bucs made it all the way to the NFC Championship game before being taken down by the Rams.
Who has Warrick Dunn? Who has Warrick Dunn?
The next year, the two teams met again in a late-season Monday night showdown.
45 sideline, touchdown 20, touchdown Tampa Bay! He went all the way!
It's a back-and-forth game. We need a touchdown. We're down by 4 points.
And here's the snap, toss pitch to Dunn, gun runs left to the 3-2, handles, he's got a touchdown Tampa Bay! Warrick Dunn leaving his ground, he scores a touchdown!
That's all heart and soul, number 28.
Just some way, somehow, he was going to put the ball in the end zone. And I thought back to that conversation. Do you like touchdowns? That's what I do. That kind of personified Warrick to me.
In 2002, Dunn signed with the Falcons.
I really thought this is going to be an outside runner. You know, we had a big back in T.J. Duckett. Warrick was kind of a change-up guy. Don't want to, because of his size, be a guy that we're going to run a lot inside, and I was dead wrong. I mean, he was a tremendous runner inside. And I think if anything impressed me after we got Warrick was how tough he was.
Dunn has running room and more. He's to the 50, 45, 40. Now it's a foot race towards 6. Far sideline, Warrick Dunn into the end zone.
In 2005, at the age of 30, Dunn had a career year, rushing for over 1,400 yards. In 2007, Dunn was just a few yards away from a stunning career achievement when he faced Tony Dungy and the Colts.
We had this special bond, and it was just amazing how the Lord worked it out that we're going to play in this game. I'm going to oppose him now, and he is going to do something that no one thought humanly possible, that a 175-pound guy could last that long and rush for that many yards.
He needs only 2 yards to reach 10,000. Dunn will get it.
That is absolutely 2 yards and earn the way that he has earned so many over the years.
To reach that milestone and be thankful and say that I proved to everybody that I can do it, it was rewarding.
31 players have rushed for 10,000 yards. Warrick Dunn is the lightest, and only Barry Sanders is shorter.
He was always smaller than everyone else. He had to make up for it with heart and determination. And I do think it was partly fueled by the memories of his mom and that drive that I'm going to make my mom proud, and her son is going to do things that nobody thinks are possible.
During his 12-year NFL career, Warrick Dunn achieved unthinkable milestones and won numerous awards, including the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
I'd like to thank my mom. She gave me the best 18 years of my life. She was my best friend, my mentor. I lost a lot when I lost at 18, but it didn't stop me from growing. I still have those issues where can you truly enjoy everything when your world, the person who meant everything to you is not here? No.
And I always tell him, you have to take time for yourself. But he never, ever thought about Warrick. It was always what's going to be best for my siblings and my grandmother.
In 2007, as a member of the Falcons, he decided to seek counseling.
And so I called and I tried to schedule an appointment. The thing is, I said, I can't come through the front door. I have to park in the back. I'm a running back for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't want anybody to see me. So I was so ashamed and embarrassed to be going to counseling, being a professional athlete. So it's like they accommodate me. They say, hey, just pull in the back. I was there and she just started talking to me and I just started crying. Because then I realized too that I was depressed, right? And I realized too that in college I suppressed everything. Then I started realizing years later that someone had control over my life because I couldn't move forward. The guy who shot and killed my mom. I actually asked my counselor, do you think it's okay if I go and see the guy who shot and killed my mom? And she felt like I was in a good place to do that. And we pulled up to the gate and the warden was at the gate waiting on us, and it's like, I just want to let you know that he's going to tell you that he didn't do it. He's not going to admit to it. I said, it's okay. Thank you. We went in and there was no bars. I mean, he was sitting across a round table from me. And the first thing he said is that he didn't do it. And I was like, it's okay. But he said, no matter what, I just said this, no matter what, it doesn't matter. I came here to say I forgive you. You had so much power over my life that I wanted to take that back. And he still didn't admit to it, but most importantly, I was able to get it out. Something I had inside. And I mean, I actually felt a lot better leaving. The weight of the world was gradually coming off my shoulders. I actually smiled at practice, or I was laughing a lot more. I retired one day. The next day, I became a limited partner of the Atlanta Falcons in 2009. That was after having a lot of conversations with Mr. Blank that convinced me to do it.
8 years later, Dunn handed Falcons owner Arthur Blank the George Halas Trophy when Atlanta won the NFC Championship. But his greatest gift was the foundation he created in his mother's honor back when he was playing for Tampa, helping single-parent families become first-time homeowners.
Thank you so much.
We assist single parents, giving them $5,000 down payment, but also fully furnishing their homes with food, furniture, linens, garden tools, TVs, all the way down to the computers, even a toothbrush. To date, we've helped 214 single-parent families who are becoming first-time homeowners. What we did is create stability. We've had a lot of kids who have moved on and done a lot of great things.
As astonished as I am and as proud as I am of all the things he's done on the field,
Don't cry.
off the field is so much more.
It's okay, I'm not sad.
Just happy cry.
People always ask, who's the best player you've ever coached? And that's so hard. I've coached a bunch of Hall of Famers and a lot of special guys, but when they ask me my favorite, Warrick Dunn, for what he brought to the team, what he did for the community, and his story. I mean, if you could draw up a player that you'd want on your team, that's what you would draw. You'd draw Warrick Dunn.
I know that it's taken me all of these years to really understand, like, what is my true purpose? My mom sacrificed her life to help her community. I can live through those recipients, those families, when I see them walk through the door.
This is awesome.
It helps me think about my mom and bringing her dream of home ownership to reality. help hundreds, thousands of people potentially live better lives. That's my purpose on how I can impact people.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God, thank you so much.